You have been told strength means pushing through. Real worth is proven in endurance. That to rest is to fall behind. These messages run deep. They echo through childhood lessons. They seep into workplaces and families. They shape how you see yourself. You begin to measure your value by output. You begin to hide your exhaustion. You learn to smile even when tired. Keep going even when empty. The world praises you for it. But inside, something starts to ache. The body whispers for pause. The mind longs for relief. The heart feels unseen. Yet you press on. You fear stopping means weakness. You fear asking for ease means failure. You fear being misunderstood. These fears are not yours alone. They belong to a culture of endless pace. A culture that glorifies overwork. A culture that forgets humanity. This is the air you breathe. No wonder it feels natural to perform. No wonder it feels risky to rest. You may even admire those who never pause. You may envy their apparent stamina, but you do not see their hidden fatigue. You do not see their quiet despair. You do not see the cracks beneath the mask. We live in a society of tired souls. People walking fast, but feeling empty. People producing, but not resting. People praised for surviving on little sleep. You have absorbed this standard. You believed it was truth. But truth feels different. Truth feels softer. Truth gives permission. Truth does not demand proof. You are not meant to run forever. You are not a machine. You are a living being, a body that breathes and aches, a heart that feels and longs, spirit that tires and renews. Ignoring this does not make you strong. Ignoring this makes you fragile. Rest is not failure. Rest is how you survive. Rest is how you rebuild. Rest is how you remember yourself. Yet the voice of shame interrupts. It whispers, "You're lazy." It says, "You should be doing more." It mocks your stillness. That voice is not your truth. That voice is inherited. Passed down by generations of fear. It was shaped by survival. By economies that valued labor over life. By families who thought sacrifice meant love. By systems that profit from your exhaustion. You were never the problem. You were never weak for needing rest. You were human. Being human is not a flaw. Being human is your birthright. Every living thing rests. Trees pause in winter. Oceans retreat in tides. Animals sleep deeply. Even the sun sets. Why should you be the exception? Why deny yourself the rhythm of life? Why demand endless output from a finite body? The belief that rest is weakness has cost you. It has cost your health. It has cost your joy. It has cost your sense of peace. You feel it in your chest. You feel it in your bones. You feel it in your restless nights. Still, you wonder if it is allowed. Let this be your reminder. It is allowed. Rest is your right. Rest is your strength. Rest is your resistance to a world that demands too much. You do not need to prove your worth by exhaustion. You do not need to prove your strength by suffering. You are already enough. Even in stillness. Even in quiet. Even when you do nothing. The truth is simple. You do not need to prove you are strong. Rest is strength too. Knowing rest is strength is one thing. Living it is another. The world around you still moves fast. It still praises endless productivity. It still rewards those who push past their limits. To choose rest here feels rebellious. It feels risky. It feels like stepping out of line. But small acts of rest begin quietly. They begin with listening. Listening to your body. Listening to your breath. Listening to the ache in your chest. Listening to the heaviness in your eyes. Your body always tells you the truth. It asks for water. It asks for movement. It asks for stillness. The first rhythm of rest is noticing. When you notice, you honor yourself. You stop ignoring what hurts. You stop silencing what needs care. You begin treating yourself as human again. That is strength. Rest does not always mean sleep. Sometimes it means pausing before you answer. Sometimes it means leaving space in your day. Sometimes it means letting a thought pass without reacting. These pauses restore you. They create small islands of calm. They remind you life is not a race. Rest also lives in your breathing. A slow inhale, a softer exhale. You cannot rush a breath. It takes its own time. Breathing deeply is an act of rest. It grounds you in your body. It tells your nervous system, you are safe. You can return here at any moment. Rest also lives in your boundaries. Saying no is rest. Choosing what matters is rest. Protecting your energy is rest. You are not selfish for doing this. You are wise. You are strong. Boundaries turn exhaustion into balance. They carve out space for you to breathe. They keep you whole in a demanding world. Rest also lives in slowness. Walking without rushing. Eating without distraction. Listening without planning a reply. These slow moments rewire you. They teach you that life does not vanish when you pause. In fact, life becomes clearer, more vivid, more real. Rest also lives in softness. Softness toward yourself, letting mistakes be human, letting tiredness be natural, letting imperfection be safe. You do not have to harden to survive. You do not have to push to belong. You can soften and still be strong, because strength is not the absence of need. Strength is honoring your need. The world may not clap when you rest. It may not notice your quiet choices. But strength does not need applause. Strength needs truth. And the truth is that you are human. Humans need renewal. Renewal comes through rest. Think of water flowing. Carve stone not through rushing, but through persistence. Think of trees growing. They stand tall because their roots rest deep. Think of your own heart. It rests between each beat. Without those pauses, it could not keep you alive. You are built for rest, or made for balance. You are wired for rhythms of effort and release. When you deny this, you suffer. When you honor this, you thrive. Daily rest is not weakness. Daily rest is wisdom. Daily rest is choosing life over performance. It is choosing wholeness over image. It is choosing sustainability over collapse. This is real strength, the kind of strength that lasts, the kind of strength that carries you with grace, the kind of strength that feels like freedom. You do not have to prove it. You only need to live it. Rest is more than recovery. Rest is more than repair. Rest is trust. Trust in yourself. Trust in the rhythms of life. Trust that you are already enough. When you rest, you release control. You let the world keep spinning without your effort. You let yourself stop without falling behind. This is not weakness. This is faith in being. Faith that life does not collapse when you pause. Faith that worth is not measured by exhaustion. Resting shows you your true resilience. You learn that strength is not an endless motion. It is in your ability to return again, to rise again, to keep going without breaking. Rest makes this possible. It makes you durable. It makes you steady. It makes you whole. Without rest, strength shatters. With rest, strength renews. You cannot hold the world on tired shoulders. You cannot love fully from emptiness. You cannot think clearly in burnout.
And rest restores your capacity to show up, to love with presence, to listen with care, to work with focus, to live with balance.
This is how rest makes you stronger than any mask of toughness, the kind of strength the world needs. Not brittle, not forced, not performative, but steady, sustainable, alive. Rest gives you back your humanity. It strips away the illusion that you must be invincible. It reminds you that invincibility was never the goal. The goal is to be human and whole. When you accept this, you begin to live differently. You stop chasing endless achievement. You start valuing quiet presence. You stop hiding fatigue. Start respecting your limits. You stop proving yourself. You start being yourself. This shift ripples outward. People around you notice. They feel permission to slow down too. Your rest creates space for their rest. Your honesty eases their pressure. Your boundaries show them balance is possible. This is how rest becomes collective strength, a different kind of resistance. Resistance against a culture of burnout. Resistance against measuring worth and output. Resistance against the lie of endless progress. Each nap is rebellion. Each deep breath is defiance. Each pause is freedom. And freedom restores your dignity because you are not a machine. You are not a checklist. You are not a performance. You are a living being. Living beings need cycles, seasons, renewal. The trees rest in winter. The earth rests at night. Even the sun rests below the horizon. Why would you believe you must never rest? You belong to nature too. And nature teaches rest as truth. Rest is not a weakness in the natural world. It is the source of growth. It is the pattern of life. When you align with this, you stop fighting yourself. You stop feeling guilty for pausing. You stop fearing stillness. You start trusting rest. You start welcoming it. You start seeing it as sacred. This trust. You recover joy. You remember small pleasures. It's a taste of a meal when you're not rushing. The warmth of sunlight on your skin. It's the sound of a friend's laughter. The calm of silence in the morning. These moments feed you. They remind you of life beyond performance. They remind you of life worth living. This is strength too. The quiet strength of resting, trusting, and simply being. This is quiet philosophy, where thinking isn't loud, and life doesn't need to be either. Subscribe if you haven't already, not for noise, but for something you can actually feel.